let's start today's session. We are still doing the first chapter, and this is the third session of coal and petroleum. But before we start, first let's have a look what we did in the last session. Okay, so we discussed about fossil fuels. So before that we discussed about the natural resources, and then we classified natural resources. After that, in the last session we discussed about the fossil fuel. We said fossils are the remains of dead animals and plants which got buried millions of years ago, right? And what are fossil fuels? We said they actually undergo combustion to give energy. The fossils which gives us energy on combustion, they are called fossil fuels. Okay, so now coming to the assignment part, I gave you three questions or two questions, three questions. The first question was, how is the balance of natural resources in nature disturbed? Do you remember I gave you these questions?
Ma'am, you gave 5 questions.
Five questions. So the fourth question, the first question was, what was the first question?
Ma'am, it was
Yeah.
to explain why fossil fuels are exhaustible in nature.
Okay, so maybe, okay, so what should be the answer of this question? Yes, Chetra, you raised your hand. Yeah.
Um, Ma'am, you gave, yeah, practice questions, you gave 2 questions, and then for assignment, you gave 3 questions, a total 5 questions.
Yes. So the first question was, why do we say that fossil fuels are exhaustible resources, right?
Yeah,
How would you
well,
explain? Mm-hmm.
uh, fossil fuels are substances which are made by fossils, which are the remains of plants and animals, which give energy and combustion. And there's only a limited supply of fossils as they take very long to form. And for the fossils to become fuel, it takes even longer as it takes millions of years. So
So
once it gets
out,
used up, it
yes, I understood. So, like this, the answer you gave me that contained, I mean, at least 5 to 6 sentences, right? Out of which, like the sentence I was looking for when you said it takes long period to form, like millions of years to form. So, if we overuse it, if we use it in excess, it will get exhausted. That's why we say that fossil fuels are exhaustible resources. Understood, Chaitra? So the teacher would be
yes,
looking for the specific line, the keywords, which is going to explain your full answer. Okay. So
okay.
if you even write in single sentence having the keywords, what were the keywords here? It takes millions of years to form. And second, if it would be overused, then what will happen? It will get exhausted. So two sentences are important here. Okay. What was the next question?
Define natural resources.
So I think Sudipti can define it. Yes, Sudipti. Can you define natural resources?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Wait, Vidhi. Let Sudipti answer this question. What are natural resources? Or Karvi can try this question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What are natural resources? Simple question. 1 mark question.
Ma'am, natural resources are the resources which we get from nature that can be used by humans.
So don't use the resources word, but the things or materials which are in our environment, which is given by nature, and they are, they satisfy our need. Okay. So while answering natural resources, don't use the word resource there. Just use the things or the materials which are needed. Okay. So then came this question, right? How is the balance
Yes,
of
ma'am.
natural resources uh, in nature disturbed? So, what was your answer? Then I'll show you the keyword. Anyone,
Ma'am, can I
Vishmita,
try?
have you? Yes, Verpa.
Ma'am, the balance in natural resources is by life cycles. So if a element in the life cycle is disturbed, then the balance of the natural resources is also disturbed.
Okay, so now look at here how to write this answer. What are the keywords here? So we have to tell how is the balance of, just wait a second. Okay, so the question here, how is the balance of natural resources in nature disturbed? So how is it disturbed? First you have to say that it can be disturbed by both natural and human activities. So mark the keywords here. Okay, so when you are writing the answer, first you have to tell it can be disturbed by both natural and human activities. Then natural resources, especially the non-renewable ones, are being consumed at much faster rate. Okay, so they are consumed at much faster rate. For example, the forests are being used at much faster rate, at a faster rate than they can be produced, then they ultimately get exhausted. So whatever I highlighted, no, these are the keywords. So just see the answer. A balance of natural resources can be disturbed by both natural and human activities. First point. Second, natural resources, especially the non-renewable ones, are being consumed at much faster rate. That is the second point. Similarly, natural resources like forest, if consumed at a faster rate than they can be produced, then they ultimately get exhausted, disturbing the natural balance. So third point here, if they are consumed at much faster rate, they ultimately get exhausted. Understood? Have you understood what are the key words when you are writing the answer? Very good. Let's move on to the next question now. Next question. Sunlight, wind, water are inexhaustible natural resources. How can they help in saving exhaustible resources? We will read the answer, but before that, I want, what have you written? I would like to see. Yes, Vidhi?
My answer is, as we know that forests are exhaustible natural resources, and sunlight, wind, and water helps the plants to grow healthier. So
Okay, so. Okay, anyone else who would like to answer? Yes, Chaitra?
can I?
Um,
Yes.
so instead of overusing the exhaustible resources, we can instead use inexhaustible resources as an alternative. For example, we can save fossil fuels and many other things.
Exactly. So we can replace. Simple answer should be we should replace the exhaustible resources by inexhaustible resources. So these resources, how can they help in saving exhaustible resources? So if their resources can be harnessed to produce energy, by using them we can reduce our reliance. We can reduce our reliance on exhaustible resources. How can we reduce our reliance on exhaustible resources? By harnessing the energy from inexhaustible resources. So encouraging the use of renewable energy sources, right, and implementing water conservation techniques will help ensure that we use our natural resources sustainably. So it's not like we can stop using the exhaustible resources, but if we start harnessing energy from the inexhaustible resources like sunlight, wind, and water, what will happen? Then our reliance on the exhaustible resources will get reduced. Okay. And second thing, because water is also present here, so you have to mention we should implement water conservation techniques. So just remember one thing when you are writing this answer. So first point should be we should reduce our reliance on we can reduce our reliance on exhaustible resources by harnessing energy from inexhaustible resources like sunlight, wind, and water. And second point should be we can implement water conservation techniques that will help ensure that we use our natural resources sustainably. So when you are listening to all these answers, note down the keywords also. Yes, Hadril, do you
Ma'am,
want to? Yes.
ma'am, petrol is consumed from petroleum, so we can't have any alternative for petrol, so petroleum might get exhaustible.
Where do you use petrol actually?
I mean, cars.
So don't you know nowadays EV cars are so much in use,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So
Okay,
we are just changing the source of energy, right?
okay, ma'am.
Okay, so now let's move on to the third question here. So this is what you were asking. Many of you were thinking that, okay, what should we write? Is water exhaustible or inexhaustible? So I gave this question to you. Is water a limitless resource? Limitless resource means what?
Unlimited.
Inexhaustible, right? Inexhaustible. So what's your answer, Anika?
Mom, water
Yes.
is an inexhaustible resource.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wrote.
What
That's
are you
the
saying?
only thing I.
Is it
In my,
limitless?
no, it's not limitless. That's
So
what
how
I
will you
wrote.
justify? How will you justify this?
I didn't justify the answer.
So this answer is incomplete. Now you have to
Ma'am,
justify
can I?
also. Wait, wait, wait. Who is singing? Okay, yes, Vidhi, what's your doubt? I'll come back to this question. Yes, but Vidhi has a doubt here. Yes, tell me what's your doubt?
Ma'am, in the previous slide, as you have shown the keywords, so ma'am, in the first line, what is the simple word for reliance?
Dependence. Dependence. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yes, Ishan would like to answer this question. I think so. Yes, Ishan? Am I right? Ishan, do you want to answer this question? Okay,
Yes,
so
yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
mhm.
as per my answer, I wrote that water in general is a limitless resource on Earth, but the amount of fresh water or usable water that we have for drinking and daily purposes is very less compared to the amount of water present on Earth.
Exactly, exactly. What do we need? We need fresh water. Fresh water is something we use, and rest of the water is the salty water that is of no use for us. So what do you have to write here? You have to write no. Water is not a limitless resource, even though it's considered renewable. Okay, with doesn't matter we consider it renewable, but then also it's not limitless. Why is it so? Only a small fraction is available for human use, and that fraction is fresh water. You can use the word fresh water there. So only a small fraction is available for human use, that is fresh water. And this readily available water can be depleted if not managed sustainably. Understood? If you want to write down, you can write down also. Yes, Hadril, do you want to say something?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay, your hand is raised. That's why I asked.
No, no, it's mistakenly.
Okay, it's okay. So please note down the keywords here. So I said no, water is not a limitless resource, even though it's often considered renewable. You can just write down simply this line here. Only a small fraction is available for human use, that is fresh water. And this readily available water can be depleted if not managed sustainably. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's move ahead now. We have to study now about coal. That's the fossil fuel. Okay, that's the fossil fuel we need to study today. So, the topic of the day is coal. Let's start now. Okay, so prerequisite for the coal is the understanding of fossil fuel, and we have done this topic in the previous session. We dedicated whole class to the fossil fuel. Fine. So coming to the weightage of this topic, as I said, that coal and petroleum carries 8 marks, out of which coal, the questions from the coal can be of 2 to 3 marks. Okay, so what do we need to do in coal? First, we will see what are different types of coal, and then we will learn the process of formation of coal. So these two topics we are going to cover in this session. Okay, so now coming to the coal, coal can be divided into four types: peat, lignite, bituminous coal, and anthracite, based on the carbon content. Okay, based on carbon content, we divide coal into four types: peat, lignite, bituminous coal, and anthracite. Okay, listen carefully. After that, we will do questions. First of all, we will see what is peat. All the important points are given in slide, so don't forget to note down these points. Okay, so coming to the peat, about peat, it's the lowest grade of coal. It's the lowest grade of coal. So when I say lowest grade of coal, it means the carbon content is least in peat. It contains only 50 to 60% of carbon. First point. Next, as we said, coal is what? Fossil fuel. And fossil fuel is something which is formed by the remains of dead animals and plants which got buried millions of years ago. So when they got buried, they started decomposing. I hope you understand the meaning of decomposition.
Yes,
Anyone
ma'am.
here? Yeah, anyone here who wants me to explain decomposition? Yes, Vidhi, do you want me to explain what is decomposition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so basically, decomposition is what? You know that your plants and animals, I mean, the living things are made up of organic compounds, right? Whatever, forget about the organic compounds if you don't understand about that. Uh, Basically they are made up of complex molecules, right? Living beings are made up of complex compounds. Now when they die, then microbes actually start working on them. How do they work on them? They start making simple molecules. They start breaking those complex compounds into simpler form, so that these simple forms of molecules can go back into the soil and can be reused by the living beings. So this process of breaking down complex molecules into simpler form by the bacteria and fungus, right, that is known as decomposition. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so The peat is formed. So when something got buried, the living things which died and they got buried under the soil, then microbes started working on them and they started decomposing them. So the first stage in decomposition, that is peat. So peat is made by the first stage of decomposition of organic matter. So it means at this stage, your organic matter, which was present in the died, plants and animals, in the remains of the plants and animals, they were not totally decomposed. They were partially decomposed. So peat is nothing but the accumulation of partially decayed organic matter. Okay, so it is the accumulation of, partially means incomplete, partially decayed organic matter. Instead of decayed, you can use the word decompose.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
you're
you're
on mute, ma'am.
On mute.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am, you're on mute.
Ma'am, you're unaudible.
Okay, now am I audible?
Yes,
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 ma'am.
ma'am.
I don't know how did I get muted here. Okay, so have you understood any point you didn't understand in this slide? Please let me know.
Ma'am, I have some doubts.
Yeah.
Ma'am, so basically, when the dead organisms are decomposed, this is the first stage. And when peat is decomposed, we get the next stages.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we'll see now the formation of coal, then I'll show you how is peat formed, when is lignite formed. We will see when we'll see the process of the formation of coal. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So the more decomposition that happens, the better the coal is.
You can say so, but there are other factors also involved there. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
We will see in the process there. Okay, so any other doubt? Okay, fine. Moving to the next form of coal. Next is lignite. So first we did peat and now we are moving to lignite. So coming to lignite has got 60 to 70% of carbon. So more amount of carbon. So I can say lignite is better form of coal than your peat. Okay, so it is soft but more compact. It means more pressure, like it is getting buried. The more it is getting decomposed, the more soil is coming over the peat and it is getting more compressed. More pressure is, building up over the decomposed material. So it's getting more compact but soft. Which one? Lignite. It is brownish black in color, so it is also known as brown coal. So lignite is also known as brown coal. And where do we use lignite? To generate electricity. So it means in the thermal power plant, we are using lignite actually to, run the turbine. Okay. So these are important points regarding lignite. Any doubt, please let me know.
ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, what do you mean by compact in the first point?
Compact means, see, when a thing is scattered, right? And if you put them together, if you apply pressure on something, the particles will come close to each other, right? And the thing will become more compact. Am I clear with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubt?
Ma'am, how is it used to generate electricity?
By burning coal. And which form of coal? Lignite.
Okay, ma'am.
We did it yesterday, no?
Ma'am, I have some doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, when we compress something, it becomes compact, but wouldn't that make it harder?
Yes, but it's only the pressure started developing now, right? It hasn't
Okay.
become so much hard. Okay.
And ma'am, like, why is only this type of coal used to generate electricity? Why not other types?
See,
Like,
because when we are using something at large scale, what do we should look for? We should look for something which should be easily available, cheaper, and cheaper means economical, and the amount of energy that is generating should be enough for us to run the or to generate the electricity. Understood? So when we see
so why
all
not
these
peat?
factors, yes,
Why not
why not
peat?
peat? Because peat won't be generating so much energy as compared to lignite. Okay,
Okay,
peat
ma'am.
is used in some areas to just in household, to get the energy at household level. That's it. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
understood? Fine. So, can you see a Google form is shared with you in the chat box? Can you see a Google form is shared in the chat box?
Mom,
Ma'am, what form is it? Like
This
what?
is just about the class. Okay, this is just about the class. Don't forget to fill the form after the
Okay,
class.
ma'am.
Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
yes. Yes, Anika, you're right. You can't say lowest, but the poorest form of coal. Okay, fine. So don't forget to fill the Google form after the class before leaving.
Mom,
Yes.
I've been removed from the meeting.
Sorry.
I've been removed from the meeting.
Okay, you have been removed from the meeting.
Yeah,
Who's that? Is it Chaitra?
Chaitra. Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. I actually told the team, but I'll again speak to them. We tried actually solving this problem. Anyway,
Okay.
don't worry, Chaitra. If you have any issue, just do let me know if you didn't understand something. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
fine. Let's move ahead. Wait, is there someone waiting there to join? Okay, no one. Okay, let's move on to the next form, that is bituminous. That is bituminous. That's the third type of coal. And here the carbon content, you can see it has increased to 75 to 80%. Now it's much better than lignite. So it's actually tar-like substance. Like we say, no, coal tar, that type of substance. And it is called as black coal. Due to its appearance, it is known as black coal. And out of them, I can't say this is the best form. I can just simply remove it, otherwise you will get confused. Okay, so 2 points you have to remember for this: tar like substance, and it is known as black coal. Like lignite is known as brown coal, bituminous coal is known as black coal. Okay, so nothing much to remember here. Moving to the fourth type. I hope you have noted down everything.
Ma'am, one
Ma'am, I
minute.
have a doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I have a doubt. What is the
Yes.
color of peat? What is the color of peat?
Peat will be brownish black in color. And it is actually, see, something like manure, you understand,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Something like that.
So does it mean the more compressed it is, the deeper the color is?
Uh, Actually, here color is also involved, temperature is also involved, and the stage of decomposition is also involved. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Okay.
overall, you can say the better the quality, the darker is the color we are getting. Okay,
Ma'am, can
now
I ask?
coming.
Ma'am, I
Yes,
have a
yes,
doubt.
yes. Yeah.
Ma'am, why can't we use bituminous coal for generating electricity?
I told you, there are many factors which are involved, like how readily it is available, how economical is it for us. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So we have to look for all these factors. Fine. So the now the best quality of coal we are having, that is anthracite. Anthracite has got 90 to 95% of carbon, right? 90 to 95% of carbon. This is actually the best form of coal, and it is hard, dense black. It is hard, dense black. Now it got more compressed, more compact, and it has become dense and hard. So it is hard, dense, black in appearance. Please note down.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, if this is the best, is like peat the worst?
Peat. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Anika, there is not sub-bituminous coal, but yes, you can say that could be a stage from lignite reaching to the bituminous. That could be a stage sub-bituminous.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so I think the time is going to, the class is going to end here. So I'm not going to take the formation of coal. Let's take it in another session, in the next session. But right now, we did 4 types of coal, isn't it?
Ma'am, I have some doubts.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, in what material the anthracite is used?
Anthracite is used at household level. Okay, it's not used in industry, but it is used at household level because it generates less amount of pollution pollutants as compared to the other. Okay, so as I said, the time is we don't have much time here, but let's conclude what we did today. Today we discussed about different types of coal, and we divided types of coal on what basis?
The amount of carbon present on it.
Exactly, on the basis of carbon content. Very good. And what are 4 different types of coal?
Can I tell?
Peat,
First type of
bituminous,
Peat,
anthracite,
then
lignite, bituminous, and
lignite. Wait, slowly. Don't rush. Bituminous coal
This is
and
anthracite. Anthracite.
and anthracite. Which is the best quality of coal here?
anthracite,
Anthracite.
Anthracite.
And the poorest quality?
Peat.
Which is used in which one is used to generate electricity?
Lignite.
Lignite.
Which one is known as brown coal?
Bituminous.
Bituminous coal.
Okay, and which is black coal? Wait.
bituminous.
Bituminous is black coal and lignite is your brown coal. Okay, which one is soft and compact?
lignite,
Lignite. Which one is hard, dense, black?
anthracite.
Anthracite.
Very good, very good. So, in the next session, we will be discussing about the destructive distillation of coal. But before that, formation of coal. We will discuss about formation of coal. So, I am going to give you an assignment in this session. What is your assignment? You have to show the types of coal using your imagination. How creatively you can show me different types of coal, whatever we studied together in the form of chart, flow chart or whatever. Use your creativity and show me how best, in what best way you can present the 4 different types of coal. Have you understood the assignment?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you
Explain
repeat?
it again.
Ma'am, in what form should we do
Ma'am, can you
the
repeat?
assignment?
You do take a A4 size paper. Take one A4 size paper. Use different colors, or if you have any other idea in your mind, you can use. That's what I said. Now use your creativity. How best,
Okay,
in what
ma'am.
best way you can show. Okay.
Okay.
So in the next session, we will turn on our cameras and we will present to everyone. Okay. Fine.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I did not understand the assignment. Can you explain it
Yeah,
again?
ma'am, can you repeat?
Please tell the assignment again.
I said represent types of coal using your creativity, and you are given free hand, like you want to teach me or you want to represent me the different types of coal. Now use your creativity in whatever way you can represent me. Now you got the idea. What's the assignment?
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
it is compulsory to do on a blank sheet only.
No, 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 not at all. That's what I said. Now you are given free hand. Use your creativity, but please don't use Chat GPT. Don't use Google. Use your creativity. You know everything about the types of coal. Okay. If you want to add few points, also that's your wish. But I would like to see how creative are you. Okay. Fine, people. So we are about to end this session. Okay. But before that, platform. This is our platform for class 8 where we will practice by clicking on the assessment. We will move on to the science, and then in science we will look for coal and petroleum. Right, in coal and petroleum you will look for our topics, and today what we did, we actually completed something related to discuss how coal is formed from vegetation, but we didn't cover the formation of the coal, right? So once we are done with that, you can select this topic and you can start attempting. Okay, understood? So this is how we should use our platform. So once you start using this, dashboard is going to show me, show you, and show your parents your strength, opportunity, hurdles, and weakness topic. And it will also be showing that how are you performing as compared to your class, right? As compared to your class, how are you performing? So for this, you have to use the platform. Yes.
Ma'am, that you have said yesterday that login ID will be given to you. So, ma'am, how to open this app with the login ID?
Once you will get your login ID, then I will explain here. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.